What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your fellow paisano speaking, Rino Zaurini, as known as CALCIO with Rino Z. Before anything, put a beautiful like and subscribe. We're going to do a little recap of the recent games. Of course, I will always start from the first 8, as we see here. And pretty interesting Serie A weekend, and very interesting at the end. Milan, Roma tie, which Fonseca got a red card, and moments ago, Mr. Sergio Conceição is now the new coach of Milan. And Fonseca, a casa, unfortunately. So, what we got to say about these games? Let's start off with Napoli, shall we? Napoli, that beats Venezia. At the 78th minute, Mr. Raspadori comes in as a bench player and officially scores, which was a nice goal. Good for the kid. But the game itself, it was pretty catenacciaro. They had a PK at the beginning, which Lautaro shot it, but the goalie saved it. But it seemed like they couldn't try to score. And at the same time, we had problems as Juventus with Venezia, but then you look, even Napoli was having problems. But at the end, they took Raspadori at the second half, and at the 70th minute, he scored a nice goal, which at the end, the poor kid was crying. But what can you do? They're still at 41 points, second place. Well, close to same points as Atalanta, first place. So we'll see what's going to happen, because if you look at this Classifica, let's show again. Atalanta and Napoli, 41-41, same points. We can say that Atalanta is now the winter champions, campione d'inverno. We'll see how long can Atalanta go further on. Because, like I said, Atalanta for me will be one of the contenders for the Scudetto. Even though yesterday, Lazio and Atalanta played a really good match, but at the same time, they finish up with the time. A nice goal from the Lazio player. Then with Atalanta, I'm sorry guys, I don't know who scored. I can't remember the name. But, difference, the last game Atalanta, I think the last game of Atalanta was way better. But these guys are on fire. I know a lot of people say that Gasperini may not continue with the streak, may not do this, baby, boo-boo. But there's always a but. You never know. He won the Euro. So we'll wait and see, shall we? So we'll wait and see with these two teams. They're pretty close, but not only they're close, even Inter is close. 1 point, 40 points. They beat Cagliari 3-0. Rigore at the end from Canalogo. Then finally, Mr. Lautaro Martinez scores. And then I can't remember the other guy, mannaggia la miseria. Bastoni scored the first goal. So guys, the Martinez, Compagnabella, he finally scores. No goal from Marcus Thuram, because it is surprisingly, because Thuram, he always scores, but it wasn't his day yesterday. But they still managed to beat Atalanta. They haven't been dropping points. I know a lot of people, I was hearing from today, they're going to drop points, guys. If this is the Inter like last year, they're not going to be dropping points. If it's the Inter like 2 years ago, maybe, but I don't know. We're going to wait and see. What do you think? Is it going to be the Inter that we seen last year will continue until the end, or they're going to go down? Let me know your thoughts. I want to hear from you. Me personally, I have to see it to believe it, because I have a feeling these guys are going to be fighting close with Napoli and Atalanta. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see where these fellow cartonati, that with that is not going to change, which is funny. I appreciate the support of some Interisti, but guys, when I have a life, my life, it's all about banter and having fun. If you're getting offended, bad hurt, whatever I say, hey, you guys bring up the fact that we were a Serie B, call me a Juventino di merda, whatsoever, I ditch it back to you. You take it or not. I'm not going to be like Grande Inter, like some podcasters, make it sound like they're the Real Madrid of Italy. But honestly speaking, Inter, they are winning. Like it or not, these guys, they managed to beat Cagliari. We beat Cagliari, the Coppa Italia, but the Serie A 1-1. Same with Milan having problems with Cagliari. So they caused them trouble, yes, but then they found their way, man. They found their way. So let's see where Inter's going to go further on, and then we'll see what happens, shall we? Lazio, they played with Atalanta as we speak. They're 4th place, 35 points. But we'll see. They're pretty tough. Yes, they lost with Inter 6-0. But then they managed to still do good, even with the Europa League. They're first in the Classifica. So we'll see where they go, and we'll see what happens, shall we? I'm pretty sure they will have a good run. They might be maintained in 4th place, because the real problem is now that we have Fiorentina 5th place and Juventus 6th. They played today. My lovely Juventus, I am not happy. Fiorentina, they're still pretty good. I don't know for how long they will manage to stay top 4. But man, this game from Juventus, finally having Kefren Turam scoring the first goal. Then, of course, minutes later, Keane scores. And, of course, everybody, so you see how Keane scores with Fiorentina, guys. The guy scored at Fiorentina with Juventus. Then you guys bring up Allegri. We can put so much blame on the sport. Like Allegri è finito. Okay? Keane wasn't doing that good. Not even with Everton. Yes, PSG, but did you see the players that he had? The national team, he hasn't been doing great. Fiorentina, good for him, but that's the team that is good. They weren't giving it too much time. So, but Juventus, they played pretty good today, which, again, Kefren Turam scores the second half, I believe. And then with these changes that Mr. Motta did by taking off Kefren Turam, McKennie, who else he takes off? Like Turam, for me, that was a big mistake. A really big mistake. Because, he was the best guy playing. Why you take him off? Koeman-Ainers is Koeman-Ainers. Yeah, but with the assist from Koeman-Ainers, Turam scores. But boys, ladies and gentlemen, there's still lots of work to do with this Juventus. I know a lot of people have been complaining about Motta this, Motta that, but come on, man. Yes, he's on his fault too. He's not putting the grit on these players. Because the moment they were at 2-1, they were defending. Try to close the game. Start scoring. Conceição is the man of the match, in my opinion. I know a lot of people judge because he does a lot of dribbling whatsoever, and he has to be careful because then it might end up at the same issue like Chiesa. He helps his teammates, but there's sometimes, he tries to be a good playmaker, which I don't mind how he plays, but the reality, boys, non bueno. No bueno whatsoever, and I'm really fed up. This is our 11th tie, because at the last minute, Bertoli scores from Fiorentina, if I'm not mistaken, and that's always the last minute. You know, I guess we're going to be happy with these ties. I know we all get mad whatsoever, but guys, it is too much. It is really too much, if you ask me. I am really fed up with this Juventus, and hopefully we'll see some changes, because not looking good. Not looking good, because on Friday, January 3rd, we have Milan for the Supercoppa, which they just changed coach, Milan. And guess who's their coach? Sergio Conceição, Francisco Conceição, father, the ex-Porto coach. Is he going to do good? I'm pretty sure he is, because you remember my thoughts with Fonseca. I said right away, he's not going to do good. But even today's results with Milan, that's another team that's struggling like Juventus, and they're pretty much close. Well, Milan's at 8th place, Juventus 6th, then Bologna, we got to see tomorrow with Verona. Maybe I'll do a little reel about Bologna, so we can talk about just Bologna tomorrow. Well, I will do the day after of Juventus, because there will be a lot of news going on with Juventus. But this Milan, they first goal from Rangers. 10 minutes later, Dybala. It was a good match, don't get me wrong. They were going back and forth. Roma couldn't score. They tried, even Dybala. I'm surprised to see Dybala. How is he playing? But guys, che bellezza. It was a good game, but they couldn't manage to win, Milan and Roma. I think Roma deserved more than Milan, because then Milan, Mr. Fonseca had a red card. Then hours before, we just find out that Sergio Conceição is Milan's new coach. What do you think about that? What do you think where Milan is going to stand? Even Milan, we're going to be Milan, Bologna, Juventus, and let's put Fiorentina and Lazio. We're going to be fighting until the end for 4th place, because Lazio's at 35. In Fiorentina and Juventus 32. So, and unfortunately, Bologna 28. We got to see tomorrow. It might go to 31, which I think they might pass us, Bologna, if they win tomorrow, because they have more goals than us, if I'm not mistaken. And then we got Milan 27, I believe. So it's going to be an interesting ride. Let me know your thoughts, guys, what you think whatsoever, and let's see who will be, if Atalanta will still be on the race, guys. For now, the winter champions. Like and subscribe, and I'll chat with you lovebirds soon. Stay tuned tomorrow or Friday, live. Ciao ragazzi.